ladies and gentlemen. How you all doing? This is Conoric.
This is Ring Rule. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, today we're on Ocean North with a bit of Spider-Man looking, pointing at Spider-Man kind of situation. Ryan, what is going on here?
Well, on the left-hand side in the blue, we have Sir Daniels playing 26 Guard Infantry with a, well, I've got this confused already, a balanced income, and on the right-hand side in red, we have Her Robert playing 26 Guard Infantry, but with a Vanguard income? Okay.
Well, I mean, if our viewers out there might notice the fact that one side is going super heavy in that A phase, i.e., the Shareness of Robert over here, and the other side is looking a little bit more, elitist. Let's say maybe that kind of fits the whole, Sir part. Um,
Hey.
it might. And looking at these two decks, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, both are slightly different, but it should be a pretty even match. Also, considering we are playing on Ocean North, which is one of the most balanced and symmetrical maps which Eugene has made in recent years, it should pretty much just come down to pure skill of who is the better player. The only real difference is the incomes.
True, true. And I think the best way to really kind of contextualize this is that we have like a civil war, like, some guy in the 1st Battalion of the 26th over here, or 23rd, or whatever, oh my gosh, whatever the Strakovi group we have here is, owed somebody in the 2nd Battalion money, and this is like a shakedown. That's my headcanon for this right now.
Yeah, just looking at the openers, we got some smoke down south and then an attempted push up north in the town.
I just as a knee-jerk reaction, especially knowing there's a lot of Chernos as a possibility over here, my butter's got to be buttered on the, with the bread on Sir Daniel's side. 30 points in Phase A is not enough to really give up, to really justify being up 5 points and then up 65 points. Like, how do you fight that?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I mean, Her Robert definitely, this is going to be the classic. He needs to win in the first, or not even just 20 minutes, really 10 minutes. For him to get into B phase, it's pretty much identical. Yeah, Robert's doing a very good job of using his air power. He's slowly cleaning out that northern town of the Ac-9Bs, bringing in reinforcements. Sir Daniels mainly just trying to focus all the way up north and slowly pushing a little bit down south.
And he is getting the occasional flag, but emphasis on occasional.
Yes.
Now, the odd thing... Oh, that 45 couldn't actually see that guard squad. I said, it's very strange to me that the 45 mil would be engaged in that Maxim instead of actually engaged in that guard squad, but unfortunately, the 45 mil could not see Yon guard squad.
Now he is very, very dead.
We are also seeing something that we didn't see a whole lot over here on Tuesday, and that's using MBTs as actual fire support platforms. Northern side's the T-34E, who's so happy being fire support, he's not even waiting for infantry to be fire support.
Yeah, that's honestly a fantastic position there from Sir Daniels. He's completely blacked a lot of, the more static fire support options here from Her Robert and slowing down his push a bit. Her Robert really needs to try to maybe get an ISU 152 into position to try and counteract Joel. Also maybe get some infantry into that forest to clear it out, because honestly, it's a pretty good, potential push all the way up north here for Mr. Daniels.
Yes, it is. I mean, this is another interesting thing. This is the second Ocean North map we've covered this week, and already very radically different from what we had seen over here on Tuesday, obviously besides the fact that we have a mirror matchup here. But this feels to me that the Northern Factory is definitely going to go into control for Sir Daniels. Shouldn't this be the other way around? Shouldn't this be Herr Robert in the driver's seat for this?
Her Robert was doing pretty good, being in the driver's seat, pushing into the town, but T-34 really slowed things up, and he's also actually trying to push a little bit in the center, which I do quite like. But no, he's going to continue actually redirect those guys to the northern town. Yeah, he really needs to get that T-34 under control, because once again, it's in a pretty good position here to start blapping these reinforcements.
He's got to do it quick, because down south there's actually another push happening here, and if both hills fall over here towards the 26 guard Strakovi. I don't know if the 26 guard Strakovi are going to be able to take this back.
Oh, I have a feeling they might lose this match, Con.
I think you have the right of it right there. And the northern hillside is just about completely in there. The southern hillside is just about completely in there. That's 2 flags, which could potentially cause, well, let's say quite a bit of bother over here for, Herr Robert.
Yeah, Herr Robert's flanks are very much, undefended, especially the far southern flank. This one guard DP gonna have to guard against the other guard DPs. Yeah, Zeus is very good at Sir Daniels. Is picking up. Robert puts very heavy in that northern town. He doesn't have a whole lot elsewhere. Might as well try to exploit that, especially against a Vanguard player in A phase. That does a huge amount of damage if you can take away that momentum.
And so it's kind of a morale game too. Like, I don't know about you, but for me, honestly, whenever Vanguard kind of came up, and I was like, man, okay, if I'm not winning that first phase, I'm basically thinking to myself, okay, do I throw in the towel or do I play this out? Because it is a uphill battle, and it will be an uphill battle literally here pretty quickly. Although I do say that, and a new amount of materials being rushed onto the south, including the OT-34. So,
yeah, we're seeing up north. We got a ZSU M15 getting in close, not doing anti-aircraft work, but anti-infantry work, and with an automatic 37mm cannon, you're pretty good in the anti-infantry work. But you also see a Kiwi Ronnie being brought out here, but it's just not really great positioning for here. For her, Robert Sir Daniels is getting onto that hilltop. The PTRDs can't really do anything against the KV-1, but, slap an AT gun there, that's pretty much impossible to take back.
well, and that T-34E continues to be a bother, taking out an OB-25 over here pretty quickly. Though, do both sides actually have the flame tank? Yes, they do, but Sir Daniels is waiting for that over here until C phase. Interesting. It's fascinating for me just to see how both sides have kind of really built their decks out, if for no other reason than the fact that maybe we'll see a late flame tank push.
Maybe. It's also really rare to see the flame tank actually flame. And it's really, as it's been nerfed since SC-44s, they no longer really outrange, infantry anti-tank, or certain infantry anti-tank, like Panzerschrecks and bazookas and Piats and all of that.
The scary infantry.
Scary ones, which you need to be concerned about. It's kind of hard to flame when you get a big heat shell through your frontal plate.
Yeah, that certainly would be a bit of a problem there. Off map 122 is to the north, which might be able to shut down Herr Roberts. Excuse me, Sir Daniel's push. I'm gonna be doing this the entire match, man. I don't know about you.
Honestly, I'm getting confused as well.
Lou 26 Garstakovi over here is getting forced back. Actually, OT-34 does get a flame shot off here, and with the addition of a Yak-9 trying to hit that farmstead. First of all, it's a bit of an anti-communist approach here to be destroying the work of the people. But who knows? Maybe they'll see their just desserts happen a little bit later on.
Indeed. We're also seeing Herr Robert actually still have a decent amount of fire support with the ISU-152 and the KV-1, but Sir Daniels is just so entrenched in the forest yet Herr Robert doesn't really have the infantry, especially the quality of infantry, to penetrate in there and round out Sir Daniels' troops.
For now, yes. And we're coming up to a minute over here, and Herr Robert, in my mind, has not gotten enough oomph to really have him playing a Vanguard income.
Yeah, he was doing decent in the opener in the northern town, but Sir Daniels was really, taking the wind out of him, and now Herr Robert's having to grind it out up north. And if Sir Daniels can just make the battle grindy, that's going to pay dividends once you get into C phase, especially with an IS run. That's a very good way to make its battle grindy.
That's true, but down to the south, actually, what we are going to see is a whole mess of Soviets.
Which side?
Reds. The purest reds, not the whites. This isn't the Russian Civil War here. But look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 guard squads, a commander, 6 guard squads, excuse me, and a commander T-34 over there in the meantime as support. This is Yeah, this isn't enough, but this is enough to at least stop the bleeding for right now.
Yeah, he can maybe just get into the farmstead, but at the same time, Sir Daniels does have a pretty good position set up. He's bringing in the Zis-3 gun as well to try and bring up some fire support, but also Yak 9B getting a okay hit on the guards. Just a pretty indecisive trade, yeah.
And the cluster, shockingly enough, misses.
Oh,
And that was that was an unfreaked out Yak at that time too.
that was. That's very lucky for the T-34, yeah. Yeah, it's going to allow Robert's T-34 to put on the pressure.
Here's a question though: you are now Sir Daniels. Do you bring in a lot of infantry over here for B, or do you start bringing in tanks, or what do you do?
Just bring in infantry. I mean, try to just, continue to grind up north and southern forest and just wait till sea phase, really, for you to pretty much automatically win.
And that thing isn't it? Because there's a ton of Ogdamachikis going into the forest here. There's Shernos. There's an OT-34. Actually, it really just is a lot of Ogdamachikis and a lot of Shernos. There's really nothing else to really kind of think about here, I suppose.
And the Sturmovikis are holding their ground, but the Ogdamachikis will be enough to beat them out. Yeah, the Chernos and CQC are... Oh no, no, you're right. Wow.
They are, and again, I'm
They
sorry.
rock.
Shernos are really, oh, boo. I should talk, but boo. And Shernos, you can say what you want to. I'm sorry, one Papa Shah does not make you an awesome infantry squad. I forget it. You are there to be bodies and nothing else, my friend.
And without any actual leaders or, CQC, like, specialist troops to buff up the firepower, I don't feel like his Chernopus is gonna make much headway. Like, you need him to, of course, take the shots, but you also need people to actually do the killing, and that's not the Chernos, let me tell you.
No, they are there to soak up the fire. This is the Imperial Guardsmen of SD2. The crappy Guardsmen.
Yes.
I mean, like, there are some awesome
The
Guardsmen.
penal,
But this,
the penal
yes,
Guardsmen.
exactly. That's a good way to put it. Down to the southern side, Guard DPs are going to start to put some, some delicate fire over here onto a couple of T-34s. I'm not sure what happened to the OT-34. I'm guessing he's one of those pyres over here. Regrettably, though, Guard Squad, we might see a dead T-34 as he just kind of runs over the slopes. Yeah, there's going to be a dead T-34.
Yeah.
He's going to chase right into that Guard Squad.
You just have to throw a run grenade. There we go. And we get a second.
Shouldn't happen if for no other reason. The T-34 should. Yeah, there we go. Get a nice reverse the other direction. But the southern side is starting to go over here once more into Sir Daniel's favor.
Yeah, Daniels just has overwhelming fire support here. He has his 3-gun in position to shut down reinforcements. He just has a very good hold on that southern flank, and I don't feel like Robert's going to be able to push uphill to get ya. This is way too much stuff.
It is worth mentioning there is a KV-1, and it's great grandsire, the AV-85 coming in here as well.
Actually, 85 times better, right?
Exactly. Maybe that's how it works in some math. I'm not sure about this one. I don't think that's gonna be enough here.
No.
I mean, this is going to be just repositioning ever so slightly to look down the road. The second he sees eyes on for that KV-1 is toast.
Honestly, for Robert, at this point, there's no point trying to, push down south. There's not really too much ground Sir Daniels can really take after that point. You might as well just set up defenses, hold up shop, and then try to continue pushing central and up north. And her Robert still has the point advantage, only a 14-10, because he still holds the town. He really needs to try to open up another theatre of the war, maybe in the far centre. I keep saying far centre, the central position, instead of trying to grind it out, because once we get to sea phase, he is not going to be able to grind it out.
As a wise man once told me, at that point he'd be buggered, wouldn't he?
Yes, he'd be quite buggered.
So it's kind of funny for me. There's a Sturmoviki behind the front line. He goes up to Superior and is, instead of forcing that surrender, because he cannot get him to surrender. Fine, I'll kill them all instead. Now, southern side, is this gun is holding its fire. When that KV-1 gets close, oh boy, it's not going to be beautiful and terrible at the same time.
That'd be a good time to shoot. You could shoot the rear of the PTRS.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was going for the KV-85, and now he's going to take shots over here. So that was such a waste of an ambush, unfortunately. So now both these squads, both these things are going to go down.
It's actually really effective push here from Robert. I kind of regret what he said, just 2 minutes earlier, because he's going to actually take at least part of the hill back, which is honestly not bad. I don't feel like he might be able to push all the way, far south and capture it entirely, but it's still going to be a grind, especially with 2 SU-85s and an ISU.
Yes.
That's really heavy.
Yeah, it is. And I was just going to say, that is not happening. I'm not sure he's got eyes on the KV-85. Yes, he does. KV-85 gets lucky on this first shot, not getting hit. Well, we're not getting hit mortally. And the SU-85 for some reason says, oh my gosh, KV outranks SU, and very, very strange equivalency going on here.
I think it's reasonable to back it off. It's the armor disadvantage. Of course, you do have the APCR cells with the SU-85, but it's still a risky fight.
I think more about the fact that I had a 2-to-1 advantage there. I mean, it's not that 3-to-1.
He split them up. Yeah. I see. Oh, yeah. He should have kept them together.
Northern side, there is this bastion of red in that northern town, but slowly, one by one, and we have an IS-1 Combrati as well as this T-34. These guys are moving south again. And the second they get far enough south to start, they're going to start hosing that line. Oh, no. Oh, no. One Superior squad is down. All the ones are deep bars. Strafniki are engaging them. They're caught out in the open. These guys are going to get absolutely hammered.
Damn. Yeah, T-34 position from Sir Daniels has just been so clutch. I'm really surprised how Robert hasn't tried to, bring up some anti-tank infantry throughout Forest and clear it out, because this is completely shutting him down from taking the rest of that town, which he desperately needs to do.
That's a 13-11 because the northern forest, the northern factory complex has gone back in his favor. And I think this is a tide of things to come. You have the Hero SU-85 coming on in. There's the 122. I think he's going to hit this. This is the beginnings of the push to take back that town. Here it comes.
Yes, Daniels has just been trading pretty efficiently up here, and he just has a lot more, heavy armor, fire support being brought on up. It's probably not going to be too long until he takes that town.
And it's your favorite squad's doing it too, the Strafniki. Oh my gosh, those guys. That triple DP-28 is absurd.
It's so boys.
Good. It's so good.
The IS run coming in CQC against the KV-1, showing him he is the better one.
He absolutely is in this case. Now, the one saving grace is still the ISU-152, but he's only got 6 rounds of HE left. So it isn't going to be perfect. But I think the Strafniki push is really turning this around over here for Sir Daniels.
Yeah. Just he has the better quality infantry. We see a bunch of Chernos up north, but they just, with no machine gun, they're pretty much useless against Strafnikis.
And now there's enough ground fire over here between the CSU. Yeah, he's running low. But it's still enough, hefty ground fire that's really more than to take that out. I was actually watching down to the south because the T-34E and an SU-85, the other SU-85, so both are deploying up here to the north, to the top of the hill, not the north of the hill, but the top of that hill. And I get the feeling that they're trying to figure out a way to get eyes on that KV-1.
Yeah. Is there actually a gap? Oh no, there's no gap in the road.
The easiest way, you have to almost get into that break between the two forests there. There's not a lot of room.
Yeah, you just have to risk rushing up the T-34 to take the first shot and allowing the SU-85s to come on in and finish the job, but that's, can be a costly trade.
Also worth mentioning is an Andreyusha hitting the blue Russian northern town. And this is going to shut down this kind of nascent push, unfortunately, he's not able to aggress and take that flag necessarily. I said we go into that last phase, and the 122s, I think, are going to be one thing to suppress in turn to Robert's troops.
Yeah. I mean, neither side is going to be able to follow up with infantry after this artillery strike, so they're not really going to be too decisive right now. It's just slowly grinding them down. But it does benefit Sir Daniels because he can grind, and he can also bring up his own Andreyusha. Huh. I didn't know his division had access to that.
It's a wonder, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of... They're both of Andrew... Wow. Wow.
Honestly, I saw that and I was like, this is going to be ridiculous. Whoever is more efficient with the Andreyusha is going to be just... Going to be perfect. Now, Artillery Barrage didn't do quite as much as I had hoped. I expected more. That was not to be. T-34 is being engaged by KV-85. This really only should have one outcome, and that's the outcome we should expect.
That's the outcome. Another dead tank.
Yep, but not to be outdone. There still isn't a KV-85 against the IS-1 and T-34. Okay. It's still got his pound of flesh, still traded a little bit more efficiently. And it's 13-11 now. 12-12 now. And head down to the south. Oh my gosh, the Su-85s, they aggressed in. They were able to kill the KV, well, like they at least damage the KV-1. And the KV-85 goes down. ISU, does he see? He sees the infantry coming in. He's reloading. He's taking forever to reload, but he's reloading. The southern side's going to go, yeah, the southern side's going absolutely over here for Sir Daniels.
And especially now with all that armor support he has, you can just shoot right down the road. Yeah, zero chance in hell her Robert is going to take out position. Honestly, Sir Daniels says he has a pretty good chance to push up into the forest just northeast of the southern hill. And heck, if he's feeling really ballsy, attack the southern town.
And you know what? I think he could do that. Heck, he could probably even hit it almost with Andreyusha fire. I can never remember. Yeah, the range, maybe he doesn't have the range for it just yet. Nah. I might have to take that back. I think he's barely out of range. He's barely out of range in that town. Would have been really interesting to just redeploy the Andreyusha a little bit further to the south, maybe that T intersection to the southwest of him, and then hit the southern town. You could take all of that spread. It'd be totally fine. It'd be actually almost ideal.
Yak 9B going for the center, trying to bomb those Thermovikis. That's quite the same at her Robert. He's been playing a little bit in the center, a little bit more heavy compared to standard player here, but he hasn't really followed up with it. I mean, it's of course very dangerous, but you know, time and time again, the central position is usually pretty wide open to attack.
Yeah, it certainly is, isn't it? 5 more squads down south tell us that we actually are going to see a push onto that town. He's going to donate one of those, unfortunately, because he's going to get out a little bit too close. Is there an off-map being brought on in? No. I guess I'm surprised there wasn't a more suitable bit of support here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Worth mentioning, there's an ISU on both sides to the southern side. One of the Su-85s does go down. That was courtesy of KV-85. I think the KV-85 in turn was taken out. And the Andreyusha, looking for the other Andreyusha, and should be able to get it, because there's going to be a crazy amount of spread. Those 300mm HE shells are no joke.
We're also seeing the ISU fight the other ISU, so just having a battle of doppelgangers here, unit on unit. The IS-1 pushing out in the forest, taking some anti-tank rifle shots to the side, but Stahl and Minium will be enough to protect him.
Oh, I'm just watching Andreyusha suppressed like crazy, retreating, and I think it's going to go down here. It's going to go down.
Has to.
No. No. There's one final chance. Yikes.
So close.
Doesn't go down.
So bloody close.
But you know what else isn't close? The ISU down to the south takes out his doppelganger, so that's done.
Oh,
That's been handled. So that's fantastic for him. And the town fight is slowly going. Shinobufiki's being moved on in. T-34 is just nice support. And the PTRSs shouldn't be enough to take them out. Certainly not when you have a Snapiri engaging them from some nice distance here.
it's just providing good amount of fire support. And then once that T-34 comes in online, yeah, so Daniel should have a pretty good shot of clearing up the town. A lot of the infantry now, the smaller 2-4-man squads, really only the guard DPs are, the substantial infantry squad, and yeah.
And here Robert does, I think, the intelligent thing and taps.
Yeah. GG, and yeah, pretty standard 1,000-ish KD.
But that 1,000-ish KD almost felt like it was actually much more in favor of Sir Daniels. And a lot of that, outside this KV-1E right here, I think was just because there was a more efficient trading. We've been talking about it all this week.
Yeah, just all about being able to get those cost-efficient kills. And especially, I think it was just that one of the pivotal things was that T-34 up north. Because if her Robert man's completely secure at northern town, get into the forest, he would have definitely been in a better position, coming into B and C phase to hold and maybe get, better pressure and capturing the flags. But he just didn't manage to do that, which was kind of a shame.
He didn't, but Tikhonov over here was very, very good at his job. This is the IS-1 that ended up supporting that T-34 in the forest. 2 KV-1s, a KV-85, an ISU, and helping to interdict over there as well. Very, very successful.
Very good for him, jeez, yeah. That was very effective IS-1.
But yeah, any final thoughts, sir?
No, I do not.
Well, folks, it's been a very confusing thing to cast over here. Hopefully you're able to follow it just about as well as we were. Really, really solid work, though, honestly, on both sides. Just a lot of fun to see the different ways that people kind of take the same division and take two different directions with it. But until next time, I'm Conor Ulrich.
I'm Rangaroo, take it easy.